So I switched into my Crocs, and now I've told you to go and switch into your Crocs. What do you think the Crocs are going to bring to the episode?
From my experience, like arch support.
That is the one thing I feel like I'm not getting from my Crocs.
Really? What are you getting? Just like style? Drip?
I think I'm definitely getting more arch support than I am style. But I love them deeply, and I think they're going to help us get through the Coty Croc of the year.
Yeah. I think the people at home will hear the Crocs in the audio.
Yeah, well, no, because this is the biggest episode of the year. Not the last episode of the year, though, right?
I don't know.
Holy crap, is this the last episode? We're recording the GOTY. This is the game of the year. We've made the official call on what was the best game of 2022.
Personally.
Objectively.
Objectively.
And I'm sure our lists are going to match to a T.
Yeah, totally. Actually, it'll be like really boring because it'll be so predictable.
I hope you hit me with a left wing, a left field.
Like a hook?
A left hook. No, don't punch me. I was trying to think baseball, but I don't know enough baseball terms to make a metaphor.
James, we've done this before. Like
Are we doing it
knuckleball?
again? Oh my. Yeah, can you hit me with a slider real quick?
Yeah, well, if you know the pitch, you'll hit it out of the park. And that's what good friends do. So here comes the slider.
Okay. Are you gonna hit? All right, so let me hit the slider real quick.
Yeah, I threw the ball like a couple seconds ago.
How far are you? How much time do I have to hit it?
Here it comes.
Hey, Gold Lewis, can you grab that ball for me?
We can't do this again.
Oh shit, it just hit Johnny Knoxville in the balls. Okay, I don't know how to kick off a GOTY episode. What do the other podcasts do? I have like a structure in my head that might be something. I think we've each brought 10 games that we've ranked. Did you rank your 10 games?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. The top half of the 10, bottom half of the 10, the worst ones, was a lot harder to organize than the top ones, the best ones.
I guess we should outline maybe like the structure up top. I think maybe we'll talk about the year like holistically, and then we will both drop our 10 through 6s, right? At the same time.
Over top of each other?
Yeah, we'll mix them all up and sift through them.
Cool.
And see what we have there. And then we'll go through our individual 5 through 1s.
Okay. And I think for the top of the show, I don't know if you have something like this prepared, but I prepared a disqualified mentions.
Okay.
Basically games that were like a big part of 2022 or, or maybe a little too recent to make the cut.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So first off, I do have Cyberpunk 2077 on here.
Okay, because of the DLC?
No, so this is the year that it got like its big Edge Runners patch, to go with the anime, which was like the best. That was the AOD, the anime of the year.
Sure, yeah.
But the game actually came out with its like PS5 and Xbox Series, whatever one is the biggest Xbox. So like It was re-released for the modern consoles this year.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. So that's in your...
That's in my disqualified mentions.
Oh, okay.
One, it's disqualified because it did come out on previous consoles and not this year.
Yeah.
But it killed it, and it came back, it works, and it's surprisingly like not, the game I've heard so many bad things about. Like I had a really nice time playing that.
Yeah, it's had some time to shape up.
Yeah, if they released it this year, it would have been somewhere actually on this list.
Yeah, totally.
But they crunched it out.
So I think another thing we can talk about is like you said, maybe if you played Cyberpunk when it came out, it would have made like a it would have had an impact.
I think if the Cyberpunk that was released on PlayStation 5 this year,
right?
If this was the first time we saw it, was in 2022, and we got this game, I think it would be in a lot of people's GOTY lists.
Right.
The thing that was released this year was good. I just wish it never came out like, oh my gosh, 3 years ago now?
Was that 2020?
I think that was a 2020.
Ooh.
Bro, are we old? Where's the time going?
So I guess like as we're talking about disqualified mentions, I have some games that I played this year that came out last year. And like had I played them last year, they would have made my list. I didn't have like a big list last year, actually.
There wasn't any games.
I played like 3 or 4 games last year that came out that year.
Yeah,
didn't
and
have
they
a gaming podcast.
Yeah, they just would have been the list. Like
yeah, so I'll shout out like Inscription became playable for me when it dropped on Mac earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that thing ruled. And then I finally played Near Replicant, and yeah, retroactively that would have definitely gone on some kind of list last year.
Yeah, that would have been on the thing. And let's see. I also have this. I'll just drop 2 of them real quick because I'm very like early in them. But just December alone, we got Marvel's Midnight Suns and the Crisis Core Final Fantasy Reunion thing.
Yeah.
So I'm currently trying to play through both of these games with very limited time. And first off, Midnight Suns really is just Fire Emblem as hell.
Yeah.
And I love it so much. Natalie actually played for a bunch of hours yesterday. And if this was not released in December, this would be somewhere on this list.
It's not
I wish
too
I
late.
had no, it's too late.
Okay.
Like I just like the game is just hitting its stride for me, where I'm like, this is like it's all like the relationship building parts of it and like doing the fun stuff around their own version of Garrick Mach.
Yeah.
I need more time with it, but I love what it's putting down.
Well, I think the cool thing about these lists is that they could change like any minute of the day. I'm sure after we record this, like I would reorganize my list differently. And I think like maybe once you finish Marvel Midnight Suns, like
we're gonna re-record this whole episode.
Yeah, totally.
To make an addendum.
Yeah. I haven't finished Immortality. I feel like that's a game I really like slept on and like probably should have finished beforehand. That might be my Marvel Midnight Suns.
Yeah, you're disqualified mention. Because there's definitely some games on this list I haven't personally finished, but I don't think that takes away from its spot on the list. Because like there's no game reason I didn't finish these games. It's all like personal, or the games have just taken me on a very wild ride.
Yeah, and in Immortality's case, it's like I played like a half an hour of it and I was like, yeah, this is tight, but just didn't get around to playing more.
Yeah, you just didn't have enough popcorn to get through the whole movie?
Yeah. Have you played it by any chance?
No, but I think it is on Game Pass.
It's also free if you have Netflix, like the mobile version.
Okay. What are they doing?
Do you know about Netflix games?
To the extent of, I know you can download Into the Breach.
Yeah.
On Netflix, which is like a very like low poly, again, like Fire Emblem Advanced Wars style combat.
Yeah, Into the Breach is so good.
But yeah, that's my extent of Netflix gaming. Can you play it on your TV? It kind of feels like where it should be.
No.
All right, Netflix. TV's kind of your thing.
It's a little embarrassing.
Yeah. Ooh. See, I have World of Warcraft Dragonflight. That's
in disqualified mentions?
It's in disqualified mentions because it is an expansion to an 18-year-old game.
Okay.
But WoW is back in its stride, and I have convinced 2 friends from our friend group to be part of my main dungeon running group. So I just need 2 more people.
Nice.
Richie, I just need a healer. Richie. Come on.
I can't.
I just need a healer.
I can't do it.
Welcome to the episode where I get Richie to play World of Warcraft with me.
It can't happen. It can't happen. Listen, I'm 30 and I've never played World of Warcraft in my life.
And you didn't know what Mariah Carey looked like. Things change.
Okay, we'll talk later.
Okay, and I do have one more.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest Treasures.
Oh, wait. The recent one?
Yeah, I just think it looks really cool. I haven't bought it.
Oh, okay.
I just wish I had it.
Yeah, me too.
So it's disqualified because I didn't buy it.
Yeah, that's typically how these things work.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Aria. Okay, and I'll just shout out one more. Aria of Sorrow, Castlevania came out with the Advanced Collection last year. That has made me dip my toes into the Castlevania franchise, and none of them are as good as Aria of Sorrow.
Yeah,
The
that's a
game
hard one to top.
Owns, and everyone should play it.
You play Hollow Knight?
I keep trying to play Hollow Knight, and I think I'm probably just not playing enough of it. I hear everyone say like it starts off very slow. You don't do like the movement is kind of slow. It's like it starts off slow.
Yeah, I mean you get.
Like, I beat the first
power-ups.
boss, and I just am overwhelmed by the map, and I don't know where to go, which is another thing I hear is kind of the point. Like you're supposed to get lost and immersed in this world.
Wow. Okay, I actually feel that way about my number 10 on my GOTY list.
Do you want to transition?
Should we transition?
Holy crap, we're in the list.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you want to start? Just give me your 10 up to 6.
You want 10 to 6? Okay.
Yeah, and then I'll follow with mine.
Okay, and then we'll just kind of work through there.
Yeah.
So first I have Splatoon 3. Number 9 is Pokemon Arceus. Number 8 is The Quarry.
Okay.
Number 7 is Marvel Snap.
Yeah.
Number 6, Vampire Survivors.
Okay. So my 10 is Tunic.
Oh.
My 9 is Cult of the Lamb. My 8 is Norco. 7 is Shin-Chan, me and the professor on summer vacation, the endless 7-day journey.
Fantastic.
And 6 is Stray. Okay, so we have a lot to sift through here because I feel like we don't have any overlap, do we?
Somehow none.
Yeah, no overlap.
That's good.
How do we do this?
I think that's what, if we were just playing the same games together, that would be boring.
Yeah, I wonder if in turn our top 5 will look similar. I don't think it will actually.
It might a little bit.
I see 2 or 3 things that could overlap, but anyway.
Yeah, we'll get there. So how do we break this down? Do I just kind of press you on what you've done?
Yeah, how about I'll start out the conversation with this. I thought Marvel Snap and Vampire Survivors would have been in your top 5.
Whoa. Okay.
That was my impression of what games you liked this year.
Okay. I mean, I liked them a lot. And I think Marvel Snap is just the perfect number 7 game of the year. Just because for how awesome it is playing Marvel Snap, it's sort of more almost like idle to me. Like the games are so quick and addicting that I'm just keeping my phone up and I'm like, all right, on to the next game of Marvel Snap. Like I love it, but that's what it is. It's like a fun competitive thing I can do in between like breaks and like while I'm waiting for stuff to happen at work. Like that's how I think that's where it earns its spot. And the fact that it's calling out to like just the craziest Marvel characters ever, like Hell Cow.
Yeah.
Bessie the Hell Cow, isn't it? Which is a cow that was bit by like Dracula at some point and then buried by the farmer and then came back as a scary cow.
You could say anything and I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't confirm or deny.
But, like, so that's like the cool stuff they're doing with the game. So I think like it's like actually it's not catering to like the cinematic MCU kind of stuff. It seems like it's an actual like historical Marvel like love letter to all the old comic books.
Yeah, I found the length of the games to be really smart, or like the brevity of it to keep the the user engaged.
Well, and with how hot my fucking phone gets, come on. My battery? Yeah. Apple? Why are they burning my phone up? My phone too hot. The game has to be quick or the phone blows up.
I had to wear gloves.
But no, so the fact that the games are short is really good in a world where like phone batteries kind of suck.
Yeah. Did you happen to play Vampire Saviors on mobile?
Survivors, but no.
Oh, Jesus. I can't believe I did that.
Did you mean V-Rising? No, I played most of that just on PC, which, again, it's a game you can play with one hand, which is so fun. And, like, the vibes of it just kind of make you feel like you're sort of in a, like, Castlevania kind of style game, even though you're just, walking in a circle and popping off cool effects everywhere. But just, like, the general loop of it is wildly fun. And I played a lot of it on Xbox Game Pass as well. So like having that on TV is incredible, especially when you're just holding like half the controller. I wish I was just using one Joy-Con.
Yeah, like a Wiimote.
Mm-hmm. Now, I want. How did Tunic make it to the 10 spot?
It was between that or Multiverses.
Whoa, dude, that got bumped years ago.
Yeah. So I did really like Tunic. The reason why it is so low is that I didn't get like too far in it. Mm-hmm. But the art style really worked for me. Everything was like really fuzzy and colorful and like high contrast.
Yeah, fuzzy and lovely.
Yeah, totally. It didn't say anything to you, which if anyone's like listened to this podcast before, like I like to be left alone. And Tunic leaves you alone for sure. However, like the flip side of that is when they don't tell you things, it's like if you get lost, it's like hard to Google what to do next. And that's just where I'm at with that game.
Yeah, and so I had a really enjoyable time playing that, and the fact that you're sort of piecing together an old like Game Boy Color style manual,
really cool.
Yeah, fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
But no, it wasn't it wasn't Link's Awakening for me.
Yeah.
The remake on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you end up playing more Tunic?
No, I honestly I dipped into it and it just wasn't grabbing me the way I wanted. And then I saw people that got further in the game, and there's some really cool looking stuff that I just wish I knew how to walk right to it.
Yeah, that's a thing. It's like such a corn maze that like by the time you're lost, it's like really hard to know where to go.
I don't know what else I can like really press you on. So I kind of just want to work through, I guess, the rest of your list from here. So Cult of the Lamb, again, it was one I think we both had very Cult of the Lamb seemed like something that was just really up my alley, and I think I was sort of hyping it up to our Discord channel too. Mm-hmm. I was like, guys, this game so tight, and then playing it, just there was just something really unsettling about it. For some reason, I just didn't like. I didn't like running a cult. I've said this on some other episodes too. So I didn't like that part of it.
Yeah, I ended up kind of liking the challenge of it. Not to say that like good cult leaders exist. Yeah, but I certainly tried. Like right away, I said like,
no more eating the dookie.
Like my cult doesn't have prisons. We're not eating any dookie. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to feed them grass.
Bathrooms for all.
Bathrooms for all. Yeah, we'll hire a janitor. And I thought that there would be a way to play the game that allowed you to be like as kind as possible as a cult leader. But like, unfortunately, like you do have to get a prison because otherwise like people will just dissent.
Yeah, I didn't expect them to act up, and they really want to force your hand on sacrificing some of the people, which this is probably my fault, but I named a lot of my villagers off of my friends. And then when Villager Pants starts acting up, I'm like, oh no.
To prison.
Yeah, to prison with you. I'm not going to sacrifice this guy.
Yeah. But yeah, I get it. I think the reason why I have it up here is that it tapped into like the very small part of my brain that like enjoys like management simulators, like the Ichiban Convections mini game.
Man, can we just put that on the list too?
Oh yeah, no, that's in my top 5.
Yeah, and I think Cult of the Lamb came at a good time too, because I don't really maybe I think Cozy Grove, that might have been a game that came out this year.
Mm-hmm.
But like since Animal Crossing, I don't think we've had any other games capturing that village building stuff very well, and Cult of the Lamb was a very good take on it.
Yeah, it was fun, and I liked some of like the
Dookie jokes. Oh yeah, Lovecraftian.
Yeah, the Lovecraftian Dookie jokes.
Oh yeah, and like all the buzzwords were right up my alley too. They got like the one who waits and some guy below, probably the same guy.
Yeah,
Bishops of the Old Faith. Oh,
hey,
maybe I just have to get back on that one.
Yeah, maybe. What'd you like about the Quarry?
What did I like about the Quarry? So this is my number 8th. My number 8th.
I'm gonna do that for the rest of my top 10.
You just pick a random one?
No, like I'm gonna say my number 8th, my number 7th.
Oh, my number 9th.
Yeah.
So the Quarry was my number 8th. And I think almost yearly, Until Dawn became the game we'd play around, like, basically once Halloween ended and started getting colder, all your trees are dead, or maybe even after the first snow, we played in, like, we'd at least try and do an Until Dawn playthrough almost every year.
Yeah.
And now that the Quarry's here, I think we're going to be playing that instead.
Yeah, definitely.
And the way they're working these games, and something maybe would honestly interest me about Immortality a little bit too, like the way they baked couch co-op into a decision-based kind of cinematic game, I think it was just super smart. Like, one, everyone's going to be making different decisions. Like, most playthroughs are going to look different, but also kind of based on the people you play with in real life. Like, everyone's experience is going to be different in that way too. Like, nobody else is playing with a Natalie who's beefing all the quick time events and adding to just like
God
a room of hype men.
Yeah.
Going like, yeah! Making it way more stressful. So like, it's just so exhilarating.
Yeah,
playing with our group. Yeah.
I feel like that game has to be played with like a group of people watching.
Yeah, and you'll all have like your own person. You have your person who's not good at the quick time events, or you have your action hero, your one friend who's always like, yeah, I'm going to take the dangerous route. And then you beef those too. Like, and then you have people who just like ignore stuff. Who are just like, all right, well, I just don't want my character to die. So like, it adds a whole nother layer of like intimacy and uniqueness to every playthrough.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Because if you played this game all by yourself, each character would be making decisions that you would make rather than like what another person would make.
Yeah, like it's just a whole wrench that they baked into their game that they're like, all right, throw this in the game. And like, because Until Dawn didn't have the passing the controller stuff inherently baked in the beginning. Like, we just knew, you'd switch characters and be like, all right, well, does anyone want to play as this person?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just baked into it. So the fact that they like now came through and do this with all their new games coming out, I think the Quarry was a huge success.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's what really secured its spot there. And I would like to get a better ending than we did, but
yeah, we'll have to try again next year.
Yeah, again, it's probably around the same time. This one I think can be played a little closer to Halloween. Until Dawn, you definitely want like a snowy cabin.
Yeah,
but the Quarry is like primo Halloween, November.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's good stuff there.
Yeah.
Tell me about your number.
My number 8th?
I know, now I'm going to mess it all up. No, your number 8th was Cult of the Lamb, right?
No, my number 9th
Norco.
was...
Yeah. Sorry, I was scrolled down a little bit. Yeah, tell me about Norco. I know next to nothing about this game except for a couple of like screenshots I've seen that look wonderful.
Can you describe this, just out of complete curiosity, like, can you describe the screenshots that are like burned into your brain?
Like industrial Louisiana.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, no, it's a point and click adventure game. Like you said, set in the town is called Norco. It's a real life place in Louisiana.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. And in this game and in real life, it's this town that's like haunted by the presence of a Shell oil rig.
Okay.
And in Norco's case, it's like, yeah, like this corporation. It's not Shell. They don't. I mean, I'm sure they would get sued.
It's Clam.
Yeah, it's Clam probably. The plot is like you return home for a reason that I won't say,
Okay.
and you like reconnect with characters and meet new characters and stuff, and everyone's like has some connection to this like oil industry, and like people's vegetables won't grow because of like the fumes and stuff, and everyone comes down with some sort of condition. And like the thing that I liked most about this game is the writing. I think it's like probably some of the strongest writing this year. Like every time since it's like a point and click adventure game, every time you like click on something, it feels like a poem is like being read to you.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's like really well written. Like the writing chops on that team are fantastic.
Is there any voice acting in this game, or is it all reading?
It's all reading, yeah.
Oh, great. Sort of explaining a future number of mine.
Oh, I know what you're referring to.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that game. This sounds maybe like something I need to sit through. Can you do it in like a one sitting type game? Are there different endings? What's the hook? Besides, actually, I think you just told me the hook, and that's a very good hook.
The writing.
Yeah, the writing, the haunted oil rig.
Yeah, not like literally haunted, but you know what I mean.
Are you telling me there's no ghosts?
Actually, there's like, yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the hook. Finding out if there's ghosts in it.
Yeah, you have to play for yourself. No, I mean, this was sort of like the year for like anti-capitalist, like cyberpunk games.
Dude, yes, it was.
Right? Norco's right in there with like,
Is it set in the future at all? Or is it like still like thematically the same?
You know, I don't remember if it's like set in the future or if it's like a version of present day that is like more futuristic. Like, for example, you go home and there's like a robot companion that you grew up with. Okay.
So this is probably like the 90s where I had a little robot dog.
No, it's like an android.
Okay, it's a smart one. Not like a Furby.
No.
Okay. Yeah, so it's probably like, you know, near more like believable future. Not like spaceships, but like
AI and like police state type shit.
Okay.
It's good, man. So this is another one that I didn't quite get to finish. Mm-hmm. I'm on like the last chapter, I think, but I think maybe just the point and click format of it. It's like another game that's kind of easy to get lost in.
Yeah, it's sounding a lot like earlier this year I played Neofeud, and a lot of that was the same kind of thing too. It was more like a believable level of like a future of kind of the dystopian ruined capitalist world. Mm-hmm. But that game's from a couple years ago, but it was still like, I don't know, it put you in a world that didn't seem like terribly far-fetched. You're like, oh, this could probably happen.
Yeah,
we might be on this path. And in
Norco's case, it's like, yeah, like this is happening.
Yeah.
Like Shell has an oil rig and everyone in that town works there. And I love the setting too. Just like being in Louisiana.
Yeah. Like these stories are not without their influence, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Man, Norco sounds good. Like yeah, I think because I like a lot of text-based clicky stuff.
Yeah.
It's easy for me to play.
Oh, and like the screens, like the point and click screens are gorgeous. Like really good pixel art, and you can throw like a CRT filter on it. It's tight.
All right, you had me at CRT.
Yeah.
It's not like Ace Attorney where it's like hard to find anything to click on.
Oh no, it's like pretty user-friendly in that aspect.
Good.
You have Splatoon and Pokemon Arceus.
Yeah, this one I feel like I can definitely burn through pretty easily. So Splatoon 3 gets the number 10 spot because it's a lot like Splatoon 2.
And that's good.
Yeah, because Splatoon 2 absolutely ripped. And this game still has a paint roller, but now we're getting modern Splatfests. So it's still the best Splatoon ever made because it's more of the best Splatoon franchise ever made.
Because it's the one that you can play.
It's the one that you can play. Though I think the servers are still online for the old games. I could be wrong. But there wouldn't be.
That's interesting.
I don't understand why you would play those. Like, I'm not going to dig out a Wii U to play Splatoon 1.
Yeah.
Splatoon 2 is on my Switch. But yeah, Splatoon 3 is just fine. And I will basically, kind of my rhythm with those games is I get it. I play for dozens upon dozens of hours in the beginning. And then I just kind of hop in for the Splatfest. I just get hype about whatever. And like the characters in this one are really good. I just like blindly siding with Big Man. And painting.
Isn't there a Splatfest going on now?
If there's one, I know one was just announced. You know,
Maybe it was just announced.
I think just for Splatoon, I have to say what the next Splatfest was. Because the Pokemon one just ended when Scarlet and Violet came out.
Oh, okay. Sweet, spicy, or sour?
Oh.
Which one are you? I'm spicy.
I think.
Which is Big Man? No.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The better question is, what is Big Man? He's probably sour. I feel like that dude's slamming warheads all day.
Yeah.
Wow, that's tough because I do like sweets, but I can only handle so much of them. However, spicy, I could have spicy all meals of the day.
That's a good point. It's like sustainable.
And sour is like you eat that as a joke.
Yeah, it's usually a prank of some sort.
Like, oh, do you want this really sour candy? Except warheads, once you get the sour off of those things, they're delicious hard candies.
Oh, geez. Just thinking about warheads, you know, like the sides of your tongue?
I know, they're like watering.
They have that feeling, yeah.
Wow, I don't want to think about those again. But hey, Splatoon 2 is exactly the 10th best game this year. Because it's Splatoon 3? No, I meant Splatoon 2. Because Splatoon 3 is just more of it.
Yeah. Tight.
And then I will get on, Pokemon Arceus. Arceus, what I don't know what people call it. But
no idea.
This one I almost didn't include on the list at all.
Yeah.
Because I liked what I was trying to do, but I wasn't too into it. Like once zones got gated by my like investigation level or adventure level, I don't know what it was. I didn't see any value in catching like 40 Magikarps. Like that was kind of whatever. But
yeah,
just because to like keep myself honest, I said I wasn't going to play Pokemon Scarlet or Violet until the new year. Yeah. I instead revisited Arceus. Now, the second I hit Jubilee Village and that song kicked off, dude, the music in there is incredible. And like I got to see my team again, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got these alpha Pokemon. Like I remember those fights just being incredible, and like how exciting it is to run into an alpha Pokemon.
Yeah,
incredible stuff. But like again, just the soundtrack and the fact that it's kind of calling forward to the Diamond and Pearl. Oh god, Jubilee City, is that what it becomes?
Jubilee City?
I think it's Jubilee Village, and then it becomes Jubilee City in Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah.
But the city just has like a faster, more busy kind of version of that same song.
Hold on. I'm trying to find something real quick.
Yeah, I mean that's worth looking to, but like that seeing all that again reminded me that like this game actually was trying to do a lot. And like it was a step outside of the mainline games. So I like it.
I'm kind of surprised that or maybe you can answer this for me. Did this like click with your Monster Hunter brain? Like going into these zones and
it did actually, because it was like you land at your camp, your expedition zone, and then like this is kind of what triggered me looking at all my alpha Pokemon. I'm like, dude, this was just hunting. And like I think it definitely has some like Monster Hunter nods with that sense.
Yeah. So this is a tweet from Austin Walker. Big fans here about the Jubilee Village theme. I'll just read it for verbatim. How's Arceus been out for 5 days and I haven't seen anyone on here post about the Jubilee Village theme? This is music for a dead mall's Tumblr. It's been a decade, but Vaporwave still goes ass song. This is Witch House era, claims casino music. Majula type beat.
Oh, the Majula
Which is all to
type
say.
beat.
Yeah, Majula. I mean,
I remember this.
it captures like that, like melancholy.
Yeah, it was weird to see like a past remix of a future song. If that makes it sounds dumb as hell, but like
No, I think that's a really good point. Actually, I didn't realize that it was calling back to. I hadn't played a lot of Diamond Pearl, so I didn't recognize that it was like a.
Yeah, how quickly would Nintendo DMCA us or whatever if we listen to the Jubilife City theme?
I think I could sneak a clip in there. Oh man, I just hit play on the Arceus one.
Dude.
It's so good.
But yeah, like it bumped it past Splatoon 3. Just like that alone again and again thinking that in terms of Monster Hunter. I think Arceus is a great game.
Yeah, I think so too.
And it came out so long ago.
Yeah, that was the other thing. It was like the first game of the year, I think.
Yeah, I was so disconnected. So like stepping into that city and getting hit with the Majula ass beat again just ruined me. It's so good.
It's fantastic.
Yikes. Tell me about Shin-Chan, buddy.
Shin-Chan. Yeah, Shin-Chan, me and the professor on summer vacation, the endless 7-day journey. I mean, what can I say?
That hasn't already been said in the title.
That hasn't already been said in the title. No, I mean, I actually had like a really good time playing this thing as like something that only exuded positivity as like a kid's game, kind of.
Yeah.
But like the thing that I enjoyed most was just the set pieces. Like I had always been the type to really adore like background scenes in like Miyazaki movies, like Ghibli backgrounds. And like a lot of these Millennium Kitchen games are just like background art, the video game, like composition, the video game.
With like the locusts playing over the backgrounds, right?
Yeah, like environmental noise, like quiet, like no music. Yeah, and like I think I would just the thing about this is like I could see a version of this game that doesn't have Shin-Chan and it's like quieter, more like a Boku no Natsuyasumi. Yeah,
Shin-Chan is such a loud protagonist.
Yeah, and I would love to see Millennium Kitchen with like I would love to see them empowered to make a quieter game again.
Friday Monsters is pretty loud too.
Yeah.
Yeah, kaijus don't they don't tiptoe.
Yeah, but at least the protagonist doesn't like show his butt.
Yeah, he's not mooning you the whole game.
Yeah. Whereas with Shin-Chan, like the run button is like him mooning you.
Are you kidding? Does he also run? Like, does he just start running with his butt out?
Yeah, that's how he moves faster.
No.
Yeah.
Naughty Shin-Chan.
Yeah, but like the set pieces are that strong. Just like how like gorgeous the paintings are in the background. It's like more of a museum.
Yeah, there's not enough nice games. You know, especially in, I said, like in this year of these dystopian future type games where everything is ruined, it's probably nice to go on a summer vacation.
Yeah, totally. After like playing Elden Ring for...
Yeah. Even that game. Ruined by the lords playing their chess.
Yeah. But shout out to that Shin-Chan game. I did think it was really fun.
Yeah, I think everyone needs a Shin-Chan.
Yeah,
and hopefully I don't. I'd rather play the other ones, but
yeah, or Attack of the Friday Monsters as well. But hopefully they just localize Boku no Natsuyasumi.
All of them. Isn't there a bunch?
There's a 4.
Yeesh.
4.
I know there's at least 2 because you played the second one.
Yeah, there's definitely a 3rd. There might be a 4th.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then what else do I have here?
Whoa. So I have like on Shin-Chan or your next game.
I was gonna say Stray, but if you have anything to say about Shin-Chan, let me hear it.
I don't have anything on Shin-Chan. I would say I think I just have. No, yeah. Did I already talk about Vampire Survivors? Oh my god, wow.
Oh,
I think I'm almost out of games on my side.
yeah, I think you might be.
Yikes! Tell me about Stray. I've played this one actually. We can talk about Stray.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess. Okay, yeah. Stray was tight, dude. I was looking forward to Stray, like a lot since the trailer dropped.
For sure.
Because like, obviously, like yeah, you play as a cute cat, but like in the trailer, there was graffiti that said like "R.I.P. humans" with like a heart next to it, and that's when I knew that like I really wanted to play this game.
No people, just cats.
No people, yeah, just cats. The thing was gorgeous. Actually, I got really into like doing video game like photography in that thing. There isn't like an official photo mode, but like I kind of like, did what I could.
Yeah, you made it work, which I think is like you used the tools at your disposal rather than what they were giving you with their baked in photo mode, like all these other games with selfies. Kratos doesn't do selfies.
Yeah, unless he's like really actually a dad now. I haven't played the new game.
No. I heard he flosses.
Does he?
I think he might be in Fortnite, so probably.
Yeah, and if he isn't, he will be.
Yeah.
I know you kept saying about Stray that like it wasn't enough of a cat game.
Yeah, that was kind of my. I will say, I think Stray won. No, Stray might have. It was at least mentioned in the GGAs. And I kind of I reflected on my words a bit.
Okay.
At least in terms of like, yeah, I wanted a cat game, and maybe that was like making me a little more apprehensive to the really cool robot game I was being presented.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, I was into the bait and switch. Sort of like actually how you've been describing the Barbarian, right?
Yeah, man.
Like you go in expecting one thing, and then it's like, nah, this movie's not really about that. I feel like Stray pulled in a lot of like cat people, which, for the record, like that I'm part of that group.
Catering to us.
Yeah, and instead just like gave us a story about like robots like trying to understand humanity. I'm looking back at my old notes. Actually, they called humans soft ones.
Yep. I'm thinking back to the one guy's room where he had all those pictures on the wall of the same beach, like scene.
Yeah.
Kind of like at the idea of what a vacation was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I talked about that on our Stray episode.
Yeah. I think it might have even been the album art to that episode.
Yeah. My interpretation of that room, which like did have an impact on me, was like robots trying to copy humanity. They would think like, oh, like humans used to hang art on their walls. Like more art must have been more good. And like, it doesn't matter if it's all the same printed like beach scene.
Oh,
like this is just like what humans did. So that's how I interpreted that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know. That wasn't like a big moment of the game.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really funny.
Well, and like, I know I didn't even like think about doing this, but looking at because we talked about some of these games on our list in various episodes this year. And so in my Stray notes, like I pointed out that it was cool that the robots are still taking care of plants because the humans would appreciate it. Because the robots don't need the oxygen or like, anything that a houseplant in mass would also produce for people. Like they don't need to take care of these plants. Yeah. Oh, I also have Momo's drip. That's
yeah. Yeah. There was I have it in my notes. Mm-hmm. It's kind of funny to return to old notes from earlier episodes.
Well, because this was also our NPR episode.
Yeah, that was a little silly.
We got a little silly that one.
Yeah. There was apparently a book titled How to Develop Your Artificial Intelligence in Order to Be as Creative as a Real Human, Volume 42, somewhere in the game.
Okay, Volume 42 is funny.
Yeah, and I noted that there was like a nice robot like playing the guitar.
I love that guy. And you could find songs for him.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like the quieter moments of that game where it was like, oh wow. And they leaned into it with like the aspects of your cat would sit down and it would zoom out for like 30 seconds and you would just like observe.
God, man, I might my list is done. But
yeah.
Splatoon
Am I convincing you?
Splatoon could potentially get bumped for this.
I don't think it's too late.
Splatoon's gone. My number 10 is Stray.
Got a convert here.
This is legal.
Yeah, no. If you want to switch anything up at the end of the episode, I think that's legal.
I think everything else is binding.
Yeah. Okay.
Splatoon 3 though, great game. Get out of here. It's Stray time.
Nice. Okay, so are we at our top fives?
I think we're at our top 5. Should we take a quick
Let's go.
Quick little suspense break?
Yeah, actually, great idea. I need to get some water too.
Fantastic. Yeah, my water is low.
Cool.
We'll
be right back.
Yeah, 1 second. Bye-bye.
Do you do any New Year's resolutions?
I'm trying to.
Yeah. Do you have any planned for this year?
No, I haven't thought of any yet. Do you have one?
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to make like a couple, like rank them.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want like a healthy habit to start getting into in 2023.
Dude, you want to get fit?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking I think I might just like tweet at the people who make Yakuza every day. Just to get into the habit of something.
A healthy habit.
Yeah, something healthy to like really get my life back on track.
Yeah, what do you think you're going to send them?
Just like questions like when is Like a Dragon Ishin coming out? When is Like a Dragon 8 coming out? When is the third one that I can't remember coming out?
The man who erased his name?
Yeah.
Something like that. Hey,
maybe I'll like alternate every 3 days,
And you should also sneak in a Super Monkey Ball tweet in between there.
Yeah, just to like switch it up a bit.
Yeah, maybe a Virtua Fighter 5 too.
Yeah.
Wow, honestly, I might have been dreaming this, but I was certain Ishin was supposed to come out like this month.
Really?
I'm like one wrong. I'm actually gonna have to Google that. Like a Dragon Ishin release.
Oh, February 2023.
Nice.
That's pretty soon.
That's a whole month after Fire Emblem Engage.
Good, because I think we'll need a month to recover, probably.
I'll need a month to stop playing it.
Yeah.
Wow, that is soon, though.
Man.
That's great. I am very excited. 2023 is going to be a good year for games. So we should burn through this top 5 just to really solidify how weak this year was.
Yeah. Yeah, move over 2022.
2022.
We're sick of you.
You're out of here. 2023 is the year of gaming.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I'm going to hit you with my number 5.
Oh, yeah. Hit me with it.
Citizen Sleeper.
Okay.
Now, this game, I ended up just playing through in one sitting. Okay. I mean, I was sitting here for like 6 hours, but it was still one sitting. And honestly, this game was released right around like my big Cyberpunk awakening, which we had a whole episode about that. But I just didn't have enough time to really dive into Citizen Sleeper then.
Yeah.
But like getting into this game, like you were saying with Norco, where every line feels like a puzzle. Not a puzzle, poem.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, every line is a puzzle. They make you solve a Rubik's Cube just to like advance.
Every single time.
No, it's just like everything.
The writing's really strong.
Yeah, the writing is very strong. Like every other line kind of makes you question like what it means to exist. And this game just makes you ask that the whole time. The whole premise is like you are playing as one of these sleepers who are like an AI body, but it's the consciousness of someone who has essentially sold themselves to the big evil megacorp. Like they are just so in debt that they're like, okay, you can have my entire like being, my consciousness, in one of your corporate robots, and now I can work for you to pay off my debts for the next like 300 years.
Yeah. Terrifying.
Yeah, but you're playing as one that escapes, and now you're kind of running through the motions. You're meeting people, developing relationships with the people of this ship. You're constantly feeling this pull to like your mortal body and questioning whether or not the experiences you're having as a sleeper, like you're doing some incredible things. Like there's like a whole greenhouse section of this game where like you're building up like a thriving like ecosystem on this spaceship.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, like these things I'm doing, like, are these my experiences as the sleeper, or do these belong to my human body? So like, I don't know. And I played this like not too long after watching Blade Runner.
Okay. Did you watch Blade Runner for the first time this year?
Yeah.
Me too.
Dude, incredible. I actually like, I took down the quote, like, so the replicants have a pretty short life in Blade Runner. And what the one says, it's like the main guy who dies at the end. He's like, I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the Tannhauser gates. All those moments will be lost in time, like tears in the rain. Like this guy who's being so persecuted for not being quote unquote, a human in these like standards here, has seen such unbelievable things. And, to have to wrestle with whether or not those experiences are, valid or real is a huge portion of Citizen Sleeper.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I had such a nice time burning through that whole game.
Can you help me understand the game mechanics of it?
Reading.
Yeah. So
I can explain that better. So again, it is mostly all like text-based stuff. And when you're talking to people, there's like a big portrait of them on the screen. But a lot of your dialogue and the activities you do are based around dice rolling.
Yeah.
So every day you wake up with a certain amount of dice based on how much energy you have as a sleeper. So you need to work to get money so you can buy food and stuff to keep your energy up. More energy, more dice, more activities to roll on.
Okay.
So like, I don't know, say you just want to like go to work. You roll the dice and you get like a 3. It's kind of like a mixed success.
Right.
Where, all right, wow, the job paid really high, but you're super fucking tired. So you just burned a bunch of energy on that too.
Yeah.
So it's always like this constant push and pull of trying to get good dice rolls on events. And you'll have like varying success throughout like the things you do. And that can sometimes get someone killed. Like,
yeah.
And then just like, there's a lot of like real relationships you make as this sleeper. And I'll probably think back to this game for the next couple of years until I watch Blade Runner again and go, damn, Blade Runner is really good.
Yeah, this was a miss of the year for me.
But I understand it, though.
Yeah, I want to give it another shot, especially now.
Now that you have Norco brain.
Yeah, now that I have Norco brain.
It comes down to the headspace. Like, my office was pitch black. Well, except for the blinding screen of my computer.
Yeah.
But I just threw some headphones on, and the music is incredible. It's very just, like, ambient noise. So, like, having that playing while reading through these events. And I think on average, most people do get through the game in like way less than 6 hours. I was just trying to do some extra stuff, which like by the time I got to one of the endings, I did not finish those extra things. But like, I started looking into it after, and there's just a lot of different endings you can pursue as well.
Yeah, I think I didn't give Citizen, so I did pick it up on Switch. I don't think I gave it like a proper chance. When I picked it up, I thought that would be the game that I would play before bed or like in bed.
Then you'll become the Citizen Sleeper.
That's what it did.
I was sitting up.
Yeah, no, I needed it to be sitting up. I needed it to be probably caffeinated a little bit. and just like ready to pay attention to it. And I didn't give it the attention it deserved. So right now, I think my top 2 misses of this year are Citizen Sleeper and Immortality.
Oh, damn. I don't have it. Well, you know what? Dragon Quest Treasure is my miss. And I'm going to say Immortality for now.
Yeah.
Man. Play
I'll give
Citizen
it another
Sleeper.
shot. Yeah.
Yeah, hit me with your... I think we're ready for your number 5.
My number 5. Okay. Dude, you're not going to believe me.
I'm so scared. Is it Splatoon 3?
So, like, this past week was a week where I probably could have given Immortality the proper care, or maybe check out Citizen Sleeper again.
Mm-hmm.
But I played through all of Kirby and the Forgotten Land instead.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Is it good? I mean, it's number 5, I guess.
Well, yeah, no, it's my number 5.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't picked that up by now. I was like thinking about the tentpole Nintendo releases of the year. So there was like 2 Pokemon games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Pokemon company, Xenoblade, Monolith, Mario and Rabbids, Ubisoft. So I was like, what did Nintendo put out this year? And I forgot that they made like a post-human Kirby game where you eat cars and fight Dark Souls bosses.
Oh.
And like, yeah, I just ripped right through it this week.
Would you clock in on that if you happen to know that? I think I've heard it's pretty short. I'm wondering if I can also do that before the year's over. Not for my list though.
Maybe like a tight 9 hours.
Oh, yes.
Which is absolutely a feature and not a flaw.
Dude, if your game can tell its story in 9 hours, I think you're doing it right.
Yeah. So like the appeal of this thing to me, it gave me like Mario 3D World, like energy. And it was just like a joy. Like I haven't played like a good Mario game in a while. Just like a simple 3D platformer.
I mean, Odyssey was their last real one, right?
Yeah, totally. And I mean 3D World Bowser's Story, I didn't play that.
I didn't play the Bowser Story section either. I just played more 3D World.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if 3D World landed for you, I would say maybe check out Kirby. Mm-hmm. So it's like these 3D World levels, and you free Waddle Dees, who are just like so cute.
They're little like red guys, right?
I think they're like brownish.
Maybe a little like burgundy.
Yeah, basically like from like a high level, the Waddle Dees are being like exploited for their labor.
Oh, and, classic.
You free them, and you build like a little community with them. So there's like this Waddle Dee town that's like your home base, and every time you free more Waddle Dees, like more mini games will unlock, or like stores in town.
Oh man,
which is really sweet. But man, I forgot about like. Do you remember seeing the Kirby trailer where he eats a car?
Yeah.
Do you remember how that like made you feel?
Yeah, it was like a vor kind of thing. It was gross.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was exciting. I did play the demo and I did become a car.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The vending machine was even more disgusting.
Yeah, you eat vending machines, you eat like 3-story stairs.
Great.
Yeah.
What's your favorite flesh covered object?
Okay, I'll give you my favorite like Kirby power and my favorite they call it mouthful mode.
Oh god.
So sometimes in the Kirby game you come across like a fire hydrant that's like broken off, and the Curbster just like expands like 5 times the size with water.
Okay.
And then he like spits water out of his mouth.
Wow.
But I also liked you get like a big sword. Like a big like great sword from Elden Ring.
Do you eat it?
Yeah, so you swallow someone with a sword or whatever, you get the sword powers, classic Kirby shit. Mm-hmm. But then in the Waddle Dee town, you can power that up to level 3, and that's when you get like the Guts Great Sword.
Oh boy. I didn't know about this Waddle Dee town.
Yeah, it's actually really sweet.
Yeah, like the demo was so short.
Yeah, I would recommend it to you, but so like the thing with this game is like I hear that it's like a really good family game. Like your player 2 can be a Waddle Dee.
Oh,
and you
cute.
can like co-op it. Yeah. But I don't know if it's like good to play with your kid because like Kirby's kind of teaching him to like eat solid objects.
Oh.
You know? Kind of like a choking hazard.
Okay, I might put that off until I'm at a safe age where my kid couldn't even manage playing as a Waddle Dee.
Yeah. But like if he looks at the screen
can manage eating everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I would just be careful to like, maybe it's teaching the wrong lesson to your child.
Yeah, because if I catch Rowan trying to inhale my entire car,
it's no good.
I'll be upset.
They don't tell you that. That's not in What to Expect When You're Expecting.
Yeah, it's not in From Dude to Dad.
Is that a book?
It is a book.
That's What to Expect When You're Expecting for guys.
Yeah. Hey, what it takes to be a dad is just to be a dude.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah. That book is so funny. But anywho. Yeah, I really want to play this Kirby game. I thought the demo was fantastic. Like, I had the ice power and you fight the big gorilla in the mall.
Like, isn't the premise of everything just so great?
Yeah. Like, that was so good. And, Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland is probably my favorite or almost favorite Game Boy Advance game. Like,
yeah,
I've been itching for just some good Kirby content for years.
This thing kind of made me think about Crystal Shards on the N64.
Oh, hell yeah.
I played a lot of that thing too. I so desperately want to tell you the thing that happens at the end because it's so ridiculous.
Oh, it's at the end?
Yeah.
That sucks. Yeah, don't tell me. I want to play it.
Yeah. But like all jokes aside, completely earned my 5th spot, like above the other games we've talked about today. It was really that good.
Wow. Big year for the Nintendo B team.
Really? Yeah.
No Zelda, it's all Kirby. This is the year of the Kirby.
Yeah. Curbster's year.
Curbster's here, but now Curbster's out because it's time for my number 4.
Let's hear it.
Neon White, baby.
Okay, dude, my number 4 is Neon White.
Yes! Let's talk about Neon White.
Let's go.
Man. Oh, so I've been saying this since I bought a PlayStation 5. The best PlayStation 5 exclusive is Astra's Playroom.
Yeah.
And that was based on the fact that it has a speedrun kind of mode where there's only 8 levels and you're just trying to burn through them as fast as you can. And there's nothing more exciting than waking up and seeing someone, like one of your friends on your little PlayStation friend list, has beaten your score on like the ice run or whatever.
Yeah.
And then going to crush it. Now Neon White comes out and does an entire game with that premise.
Yeah, totally. And like the game feel just like that shit rips, dude.
It's so smooth. Everything is so fluid. The way they work into like burning cards to do attacks, and when you get actually get through a level and do all the business and the right amount of cards, incredible.
Yeah.
I think even so the design of it, I would almost put it up there with like Persona 5, where the game itself is just so stylish too.
Yeah. It has such a like clear aesthetic.
Yeah. Good UI, great color palette.
Like early 2000s like Dreamcast vibes.
Yeah, it's like some Jet Set Radio, Sonic Adventure 2 ass stuff.
I even thought about like Super Monkey Ball while playing the levels. Just like
oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, they even went as far as like casting Spike Spiegel as the lead for the guy.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that he was the dude.
Yeah, like the setting of that game, like aesthetically, was 2001, which was so tight to return to.
Yeah, and like I feel like it was a game where like they don't make them like they used to, but then this game comes out and it's like, dude, they're making them like they used to.
What the hell?
Yeah, like on the Xbox 360, there was this game called Doritos Crash Course.
Yeah.
Do you remember like ripping through those levels?
I remember you guys talking about it.
Okay, it was the same thing. Like it was, openly shared with your friend lists, and like it had a global leaderboard. But you just and it was just like absolutely bamboozled with Doritos logos. But you'd run through these like speedrun style courses to get the best scores, and you'd get a pop-up every time a friend beat your score. So like it just added to that level of replayability, is just trying to find the best way to get through the courses. And I think there was like at least 2 weeks, like you and I were back and forth burning through all the levels. And our friend Brenton gets the game, beats all our scores.
Yeah, and then like I went back to beat some of his scores.
Yeah, it was just like this constant back and forth. And then like it sort of always boils down to like there's one BS level that everyone just tries to master. It's always one that's like more fun than the others to try and get a good score on.
Yeah.
And hey, I like the story too.
Okay, so I was gonna ask, because for me, like Neon White made it to my number 4 solely on aesthetic and game feel for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting like, really good writing. I thought it was funny at times. But I ended up like, not paying like a lot of attention to the story or like the dialogue. I liked it from afar. Like, hearing the edgy main character talking about like killing God, like, cool, here for it. Like, I'm just gonna sit over here and listen in the corner.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, like I think the characters were like little raunchy, but it was still cool. Like this was a story of like 5 assassins that were all friends in life. And so filling in those blanks was still kind of exciting for me, even though they were like, saying duty jokes and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would just say, I think the mystery of like understanding their backstory when they were human or whatever, that stuff I thought was pretty engaging.
Again, like the game itself, it is all that matters. Like it's very rare that just like a fun game, like, Vampire Survivors got number 6 off of game feel. But Neon White climbed even higher just because it's like, it had that community thing going on too, where, like it's a different experience for everyone when you also have friends trying to beat your scores.
Yeah. And I kind of want to shout out the soundtrack specifically, the Machine Girl soundtrack.
Yes.
It's actually incredible. So Machine Girl made it to my Spotify Wrapped this year because I was like always listening to the Neon White soundtrack. It's really good work music, I think, because it's stuff you ignore that's in the background, but it's still kind of hype.
Makes you go fast.
Makes you go fast, yeah. And I had always liked Machine Girl's work. They're like, they have like punk vibe. Like if like hardcore punk was going to be made out of electronic music, I feel like it would be Machine Girl.
Okay.
They absolutely crushed it for Neon White.
I love
it's so good
when like, I guess we see it more with indie studios, but when they bring on an artist to just do the entire soundtrack.
Yeah.
I love that. I want to see more of that.
It's so like intentional.
It's one game I can't think of right now. It's like oh boy, it might be Transistor or like one of those games. I don't know, but they did the kind of like one soundtrack thing, but it makes like it feels like it ties the whole world together when you have all the sound effects really like meshing together, and if the music is sort of consistent, you kind of get those same noises throughout. It's just I don't know. It adds a lot of depth to it, I think.
Yeah, totally. So shout outs. Neon White was so good. God,
that's very convenient that it was our number 4.
Yeah, we just saved some time. So you want to hit me with number 3?
Can you guess my number 3?
Okay. Let me think about it for 3 seconds.
1.
No, that's not enough time.
2. Fire Emblem 3 Hopes.
Oh, okay.
You see what I did there? I used the word 3.
Yeah, that was actually really smart.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem Three Hopes.
Yeah, man. Fire Emblem Three Houses, first off, changed my entire worldview on games and like how invested I can get in a made up fantasy world.
Yeah.
Like I haven't been so invested in a silly world since reading through all of like A Song of Ice and Fire, the whole Game of Thrones world. I think Fire Emblem is just firing on all cylinders with like how well built all their politics are, how well like all the kingdoms and empires work together. Well, go to war together.
Yeah. Like, how they don't work together.
Yeah. Like Fodlan is a real place in my noggin. And the fact that, I've always been not too into like the Mosu style games, like the Hyrule Warriors games didn't do anything for me. The first Fire Emblem Warriors didn't do anything for me. But Three Hopes just took everything Three Houses did and just swapped out the grid-based combat for, hack and slash, but you still get to have just as much, like, you can customize your entire, like, house. You're still picking your house, and you can, like, class people, and, the fact that now you can play as a Wyvern rider is fantastic. So I think it just, it just saves time between all the grid-based fights of Fire Emblem, which I love my tactical games. But this works so well when you're invested in the fantasy politics.
Yeah. And is it it's like the same cast as Three Houses, right?
To a T. It is everyone.
Okay.
They're all here.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was gonna ask if like the story and like cast and writing is like oh geez, what's the word I'm thinking of?
Spunky.
If it like it's definitely not spunky. Like if it's comparable to Three Houses.
In some instances, it's even like better because now everyone's like getting back into their roles as well. So they're all like especially Claude. Like, so I did the same thing where I sided with the Golden Deer for my first playthrough. And like, man is just scheming again. He's holding the Leicester Alliance together by like the hair of his chinny chin chin, which he's only got a little bit of hair coming in because this game, I guess the premise of it, essentially with, Three Houses, it's starting with Dimitri, Claude, and Edelgard walking through the woods, and they run into Byleth while they're being pursued by bandits.
Yeah.
This game is like a what if they ran into just a normal mercenary.
Yeah.
And that's where Shez comes into play.
Is that the main character?
Yeah, the main character of Three Hopes is named Shez.
Shez.
It sounds like a Shasta style soda.
It sounds like the Giant brand.
They ran into Fago in the woods.
I ran into Dr. Bob.
Yeah. Dude, the Mount Chilmalayas. But they're running into Shez, who is way more in tune with stuff. Like Byleth was this empty shell of a character for plot reasons. But Shez is actually like, he's just a mercenary. Or gal, you can, you choose here. But playing as Shez, you're going through and you're just trying to like make some cash. Like you're a very simple person and you help out the three and you end up back at the school. And instead of becoming the teacher of your class, you're now just a student.
Okay.
So you're just one of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you join your house. But things just start going drastically different from here. So immediately, one of the first missions you get, maybe this was a Golden Deer thing. So for context, I only did the Golden Deer route of this one. But in typical Fire Emblem fashion, I will be playing the rest of them. You end up rescuing the student Monica, like very early on. Oh. Do you remember Monica?
Yeah. So was she red hair?
She was the red-haired one who... Oh, God, Three Houses has been out forever. She's possessed by Kranya, who ends up killing Geralt.
Right. Yep.
You get her before she gets possessed.
So it's like an alternate timeline?
This is where things start splitting. Well, I guess things split by, meeting somebody named Shez.
Instead of
Byleth. So you rescue Monica, and so this part of the story doesn't happen. You bring her back, and within seconds, she's like, yo, Tomas, the librarian, he's the one that kidnapped me. So like you find out immediately Tomas is one of like the really bad guys that was going to turn into an evil dude.
Yeah.
So like the battle shifts drastically and like, oh my God, we know there's people that slither in the dark right away.
Yeah, that's so smart of them to do.
Yeah, so like there's a lot of world building, and they do still, like everyone has their time skip glow up, but it's only 2 years.
Okay.
So
as opposed to, what was it, 5?
It was 5, yeah.
Okay.
So just everything this game did was so smart, and to throw you back into this world with a faster style of combat is such like an enticing way to continue. It's like, well, I probably wouldn't go through Fodlan again in like a slower grid-based game, but the fact that I can just mash buttons between like fleshing out this world, I'm sold. And like tea time is still there. You're still building up like ranks with people.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad that team, from what I've heard, they kind of did the same thing with Persona Strikers.
Yeah.
Where like they realized that they have like a core gameplay that they do. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, they should try to emulate the style and vibe of the game, like the IP that they were given access to.
Yeah. And it's incredible how they hit those beats. Just like, since you mentioned Persona Strikers, like that essentially acts as just a summer vacation sequel to the actual game. Like they're able to tell a story in that time frame with their combat, but add the exact flair of the original game. You know, even like all the level up sound effects, just everything's the same except the combat. It's an incredible game.
I even noticed that with like I played the Hyrule Warriors demo that's like based off of Breath of the Wild. And like I noticed like a really similar visual style, and I think like the audio design was like very similar. That they know that they should like people want like more of that.
Yeah, like they're games for people that get really invested in a story or a world of a game. And I just think this is the perfect medium to give us like, you know, what next or like what if scenarios involving these stories.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Would you I wonder if geez. my backlog.
Dude, and like
it hurts.
A lot of the stuff you don't see. So like were you a Golden Deer person or were you Black Eagles? What'd you play through?
My first playthrough was Black Eagles, but then I did a Blue Lions route. And I think like canonically, like my my star sign is probably Blue Lions.
Dude. Blue Lions ended up being my favorite route.
Did you play through 2? Wait, how many routes of the of Three Hopes did you do?
Of Three Hopes, I've only done Golden Deer. Okay.
But Blue Lions was your favorite route of Three Houses?
Three Houses, yes.
Okay.
Three Houses, I played all of them. Three Hopes, I just did my Golden Deers again because I love them deeply. But like Hilda's always talking about like how she was sent to the academy because her war hero brother Holst is always like holding the front lines for House Goneril, which is her whole thing. But like you actually end up like in battles with Holst leading like forces. So like, you're meeting these fleshed out people that are only mentioned in Three Houses. Yeah. And
man,
I was so happy to be there in like kind of like a not brain dead. It's like but you can set it to easy and just mash buttons, and you can turn on permadeath and stuff too. So they even like went that far into making this game like just like Fire Emblem.
Yeah. Sounds like they're like they try to stay loyal to the IP.
Yeah. Damn, I love Fire Emblem.
Well, I have good news for you, buddy.
What's the good news?
2023 is kicking off right away with a Fire Emblem game.
January.
Yeah.
Wow.
So look forward to that. All
right. That's enough Fire Emblem. I know you're excited about Shez, but tell me your number 3.
My number 3 is Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
Huge jump from where I had it.
We'll bring that one back.
Okay.
I think the thing that I always wanted from like, As a 30-year-old adult, like realizing that Pokemon games aren't made for me.
Ain't that the truth?
Like, I feel like all Pokemon discussions should start that way. Just like a quieter experience. And to just like here's all these Pokeballs like let loose. Like we're doing research here. It's not like an end of the world plot until it is at the very end.
Hey, it always has to be somewhere.
Yeah. And we already talked about like the Jubilife theme and stuff. It was just like vibes. It was good vibes.
Like what else can I add to the Arceus discussion? What didn't I touch on? I think this is another chance for me to kind of like hype it up and see if it could move down in my list. I don't think it will. I think it's pretty safe in the 9 slot. But what was your favorite form of transportation in that game?
Oh, geez. I just like the aesthetic of the bear.
Yeah, the bear's pretty cool.
The big bear.
I hated climbing on Sneasel's back. I think that was a weird climbing choice. Except your googly eyeballs poking out the basket from its back.
Yeah. And it just kind of looked like a shitty teen.
Yeah. That's a weird Pokemon. There's too many Pokemon that are like have human dimensions.
Yeah, that one's like way too human.
Yeah, the Sneasel's kind of built like a Bob's Burger human, but yeah, that was the weakest. I like the shark. The hell was that fish?
Basculin?
Yeah.
The shark?
I think it's like a shark, right? It's got fins and you swim on it. I don't know. I thought that was a cool thing that they did for each zone was like introduce a new form of transportation. Like, oh, damn, dude, this zone's got mad water. Here's a fish.
Yeah, yeah. And I think like the elephant in the room is that Scarlet and Violet aren't present in this conversation.
Yeah.
I had and am currently having still such a good time with Scarlet and Violet, but it doesn't have that quiet, almost like melancholy aesthetic to it. And as you like roam the open world in that game, there's like a cheery like flute kind of playing.
Yeah.
Which is cool for, what that game is trying to do. But Pokemon Legends Arceus is a quiet Pokemon game, which is way up my alley.
Yeah, and I guess with the premise being you are the people discovering Pokemon. Like, you're trying to learn. You're creating the first Pokedex.
The first Pokedex, yeah.
Like, that is a good call to adventure.
Yeah.
Nope, still 9.
Yeah. That's okay. That is A-okay with me.
Yeah, no, I respect the hell out of the game. I think that's actually a good Pokemon game. I don't have any real complaints about it. I think, like that game, I thought it ran great. I thought the catching was fun. I thought walking around the battles was silly. Heracross was huge. It's a good game. Yeah.
Got bullied by a bug. Oh geez, we're at number 2.
Yeah.
Geez, I know what your top 2 are. I don't know the order.
Okay, I guess I'll just break it to you.
Yeah, hit me with it.
My number 2 is Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Wow, okay. I thought it was going to be the other way.
Me too.
Yeah.
And it ended up not being that way. But yeah, I'll toot Xenoblade's horn real quick.
Yeah, please.
They built the flutes, dog.
Speaking of flutes.
Yeah, speaking of the Arceus flutes. No, there's so much like tender love and care they put into the soundtrack of Xenoblade 3. The fact that, a huge thing, your main 2 characters from both factions are off-seers and they're playing these flutes that, send people off to the other side. But yeah, the company wanted to get this tone, so they built these flutes, which at the Game Awards, somebody played one of those flutes for the orchestra version of The Weight of Life was the song they played. It's like that, like they needed to use that flute to get the sound right in the orchestra.
Yeah, to say that we want a really unique soundtrack, so we're going to invent an instrument is so smart.
Yeah, incredible. And now, so this game, I'm 70 some hours into it, and I still have like 2 chapters left. Like, it's ridiculous. The game is constantly like a huge part of it is that there are, the big warring thing we talked about before is that the people of this world, you have the 2 warring factions, and they all have a 10-year lifespan. Their whole life is that they're born, they fight, they die. So now that your, ragtag band of people from both factions have realized, like, dude, this cycle sucks ass, you can kind of go around, and there's so many other colonies and side quests that pull you on, like, fully fleshed out stories in this entire world. So, like, even as I'm trying to, like, I just want to beat the game at this point, but I'm like, oh, beans, these people need my help. It's like I'm constantly doing side stories, which always lead to you, as difficult as the UI already looks, like it's a 6-party game, you have 6 people in your party, but you can recruit a 7th person, which is like a hero. And that's what a lot of these side stories lead into. You're always recruiting a new hero, and that hero has a unique class, which can always be learned by someone else in your original 6 party. So, like, you're collecting new character classes to teach your people, and then you level those up, and then you can share skills around. Like, the actual gameplay loop of that is so satisfying, while you're also getting these incredible stories with all these heroes you meet, while, liberating a bunch of people who only have 10 years to live. And it's so good. And especially in, like, chapter 5 where I am, I think we already did mild spoilers on Xenoblade, but it's really where they learn that, like, they're already born as young adults. But in, chapter 5, you see these people meet a baby for the first time, and they're like, holy moly, there's a lot to fight for, and we only have like 3 months to live. So you fall in love with these protagonists that are fighting, even though, like, their time is so much shorter than these potential lives that they could have led if they weren't born in these stupid war times.
Just from, like, the outside looking in, it seems really cool, like, what this story is trying to say. I've heard that, like, the thematic elements are really strong. I'd love to get to this game eventually.
And that's actually why, like, I got a physical copy of this
to give to me eventually.
I figured it's something you can just dabble in and enjoy. And something that really, like, meshed well with my playstyle is because, like, watching gameplay of Xenoblade is wildly off-putting.
Right.
But I am someone that plays, like, MMOs and, like, team-based, not like, or like party-based adventure type games. And playing as these people, like, you can play as anyone in the party. So, like, there's one person I'm just like, wow, I really like their class. It's fun to swing around a big hammer. I'm just going to stay as them and do their thing and let the AI do their job. And, like, the AI is all really good. So it sort of just feels like, all right, I am the damage dealer of this party. Like, I'm expecting the healers to heal me. I'm expecting the tanks to take aggro. Like, I'm just going to do my job. And in that sense, you're just looking at one character with, like, 6 buttons.
Which is a lot more approachable than, like, again, the outside looking in kind of view.
Looks like you're controlling 7 people on a screen.
Right, and it did kind of look like an MMO to me, actually. Because isn't there, like, hotkeys kind of at the bottom?
Yeah, there's hotkeys, like, you basically, engage? I don't know, you start your attack and your character is swinging. It's like an auto attack, but you can keep moving. But you're trying to interject it with the right timing of all of your, like, special abilities. And there's always, like, a rhythm to it. Like, my character knows a break attack, which breaks the enemy's, like, defense. And then the other people in my party have abilities that take it further. Like, if a character is broken, I can now, like, put a daze on them or something, or I can topple them, I can knock them down. So, like, the AI just takes care of all that. My goal is to just get a break, like, debuff on these enemies. So
Yeah, I'm a lot more sold now that I know that like you can just find one character to like.
yeah, pick your favorite. And the fact that the hero stuff that I just keep getting sucked into, each of those unlocks a new class. So like I've changed my character, the character I play as, like they're playing as a completely different class than what I started as. There's like probably 30 different classes, and like everyone can learn everything. So you can just find something you like and teach it to your favorite character. And bingo bango bongo, boom goes the dynamite.
Have the AI do the rest.
Yeah, and then the AI does the rest. You just play as your character. But
Okay.
it's a fantastic game. It does not need to take 70 hours.
But
Like if you're just good doing the story, it's like, I don't know, half that. I would be done by now. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. This game just wants me to keep playing it, and I'm still like so scared about how it's gonna end.
do you feel like you're putting off the ending because of that?
Yeah, and like the fact that I'm kind of invested in this world, it sort of has me wanting to liberate as many of these people that are stuck in this cycle.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I'm working through that. I just like being in this world, and I don't want to be done with the game yet.
Yeah.
Just with how my brain works, when I beat a game, I'm like, that's the ending. I'm probably not going to pick this up again unless it's Fire
Right.
Emblem.
So you're getting the most of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Every time I turn it on, I'm always in for like, holy crap. Like, things are going.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, this is a dumb question.
No, there's no such thing as dumb questions, only stupid answers.
So the games that I have on my backlog now, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Citizen Sleeper,
Sure.
Immortality.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the only the first two really apply here. Which one seems like more up my alley? Which one should I maybe look into first?
Oh, okay. No, what? That's a really good question.
See, no, I thought it was a dumb question because Xenoblade's number 2. So
No, because I mean, this is my list.
yeah,
It's Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on my number 2 list.
yeah,
No, I think you would have a really nice time with Citizen Sleeper though.
right.
I think it's short enough. I think you can kind of set yourself, like set the room. Give yourself a night for it.
Yeah,
Like you're going on a date with Citizen Sleeper.
light some candles.
Yeah, light a candle, put the headphones on, listen to the music, read the text, get tired, go to bed.
That's how I did it before.
I don't know enough about Immortality to recommend it, but I
Yeah.
would say when you're done with Dragon Quest XI, that is when I will give you Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
That's horrifying.
I think it's a game where like it's a really good journey, and you're just going to want to poke at it for a couple months.
Yeah. And currently that is Dragon Quest for me.
Yeah, I think it will fill the Dragon Quest void.
Okay. Tight.
Yep, and now my number 1 is the demo disc for the B movie that came in Honey Nut Cheerios back in 2004.
Okay. So how do you justify, because apparently that game came out in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
How do you justify it being your 2022 GOTY?
Well, I think as 2022 really broke down the barriers of time where everything is dystopian and capitalism always wins. And General Mills has been holding a stranglehold on the cereal market for half a century at this point.
They don't even make games anymore.
They don't even make games, they just make cereal. Where's my AOL online demo disc? I need my 1,000 hours of online. Is this a good joke?
Is there actually like a B movie game?
I don't know if it's B movie. I think the Honey Nut Cheerios has their own guy. His name might be Buzz. Honey Nut Cheerios mascot. Oh Jesus, fuck. Name's Buzz. Ew.
Is he also voiced by Jerry Seinfeld?
His name is Buzz B. He's an anthropomorphic bee.
Buzz B. Oh,
Do you want to talk about Elden Ring?
Well, I
or do
have
you
a
want to talk
number
about
two.
Buzz B? Oh wow, I did see a. It took me to a DeviantArt page,
Yeah,
and
can you explain more?
yeah, it's the Little B movie. It's a picture of Little B on the B movie B body.
Like Lil B?
Yeah, Little B on the B movie B body.
Can you send that to me?
Yeah.
Okay. We can check it out later.
Hey, what's your number one?
Dude, I still have a number two.
What? Skip it. Oh my gosh. Actually, drop everything. I gotta send you a picture.
Yeah. Is it?
It's a picture
Yeah.
for our audience.
Oh, geez. Should I describe what I'm seeing?
Yeah, in detail, especially the adornments of the device, the apparatus.
Okay. So I'm looking, we're on crocs.com. So we're looking at like a crocodile shoe, which James and I are both wearing as we speak right now.
For comfort.
And as any like crocker, as all crockers know, it's sort of fitted with gibbets is what they call them.
Ew.
Which is the little jewels that you pop in the holes to to decorate your shoe.
It's gotta hurt your feet, right?
Yeah.
Where's the gibbets go?
Where's the gibbet? I don't have any gibbets on my Crocs.
Damn. Well, these Crocs have photorealistic Honey Nut Cheerios jammed into the tops of them.
Yeah, and the aforementioned Buzz B,
Buzz Little B,
little Buzz B.
Little Buzz.
Oh, and if you go to the next page, it also just has the Honey Nut Cheerios logo.
What?
Or the next view.
Whoa, you can get Lucky Charms gibbets. See, I'm telling you, General Mills is.
You should mix.
This is a monopoly. Oh, they got tricks. Oh my gosh. Hey, Pokemon Crocs.
Oh, geez.
Let's put off the number one, and I think we should talk Crocs.
I haven't done my number two yet.
Let's skip your number two. Oh, I thought your number two was Crocs.
It might be now. Oh, I'm looking at the Pokemon Crocs.
Hey, can you tell me your number two?
My number two. My number two is the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
What the fuck? Is that legal?
Yeah, dude. It came out this year.
Damn.
Well, so it is like, it's kind of a sequel, but it's kind of the same game.
It's absolutely legal.
Okay, cool. Because it's gonna stay there anyway. What do you know about the Stanley Parable?
I just think of liminal spaces when I think Stanley Parable. I'm called Stanley Terrible. Dude, it's an illegal game. Stanley Terrible. Yeah, but I think of like long office hallways.
Yeah.
With like maybe a ghoul or two.
Oh, okay.
No ghouls?
I'll just explain it from the top then.
So the Stanley Terrible.
No ghouls. The Stanley Parable. Okay, so you do start out in like the office space. Mm-hmm. And like the thing about this game is that it's being narrated the entire time. So the classic thing that happens in this game is you walk into this room and there's two doorways. And then the narrator says, in a British accent, of course, Stanley walked into the room and there are two doors in front of him. So then it kind of just like leaves you with that choice there. And then you decide which room to walk in. And then the narrator says, Stanley walked into the door on the left. And this happens throughout the entire game.
Whoa.
Yeah. So like the overall thing that I liked about this game is that it encouraged me to ask questions of it, which I think is like a theme in games that I like. The whole time you're thinking like, oh, if I do this, like what kind of thing will the narrator say? You try to find like different ways to break it. And like every time I tried to ask a question of it, like it provided a pretty satisfying answer.
This sounds like something where like Immortality would do the same kind of thing where I guess like is the Forgotten City kind of like this too? Like there's just like this theme of games where no matter what you do, somehow there's a coded answer for how the game will respond to your action. Like, have you run into anything the narrator couldn't do? Or like, is there an answer that's not satisfying for you?
No, that's pretty accurate. I mean, they account for so much in this game. You can go down like many different like little set pieces. It's hard to explain. It's almost like stumbling into
It's like the website Stumble Upon.
It's a lot like Stumble Upon. No, I'm having such a hard time explaining this game because it's at its core like a game about games. Sometimes it's like mildly cynical about like player choice, I guess.
Okay.
Like, at times the narrator will talk to you, like the player directly, and be like, "Oh, are you having fun in this like multiple choice type of game? Like, do you feel like you actually have options?" Like the narrator is like this tongue-in-cheek smartass, essentially. Like there's times. Well, okay.
I need like a scenario. This is such a hard game to visualize in my head.
Yeah, I'll give you a scenario. You end up in a room where the narrator's talking at you about something, and then suddenly you open a door and you're literally in Firewatch, like the game Firewatch. You're literally in Firewatch, and the narrator says like, "Oh, Stanley, now you're in an open world game. Isn't this so delightful?" So like you start exploring Overwatch. Oh, not Overwatch. Firewatch.
Yeah.
Firewatch. And once you walk away too far, walls shoot up from every direction, and the narrator's like, no, we shouldn't be doing this. Like, this can't be an open world game. You have to go somewhere else.
Okay.
And then you open the next door, and you are in Rocket League. Like, literally, not like
what?
Not like an analogy. You're literally in Rocket League, and then the narrator's like, "Oh, sports ball," like that type of joke.
Yeah.
That's what I mean when I say like it's a game about games.
Okay. Oh my, I need to.
Okay. But the more fascinating part to me, I think, is like if Stanley Parable is a game about games, Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe is a sequel about sequels.
Okay.
and like DLC. So like halfway through playing the original Stanley Parable, there's like a sign by a door in neon that says like more content, like new content.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when it goes into like, you walk in there and like, it's like, "Oh, Stanley, we've added a jump button this time. Isn't that so delightful?"
I mean, I'm kind of sold on what you're putting down here.
Yeah, it's hard to explain, but if I can share, like, I think the most fascinating part is that, it brings you into like a room full of like trophies and like real reviews of the Stanley Parable 1. There's like a framed 10 out of 10 Destructoid review of the Stanley Parable.
Okay.
And like, I think it won a BAFTA or something. And like, that's a real trophy in this game.
Yeah.
And it's like the narrator kind of just like processing all of that. And then suddenly you find yourself in like a warehouse full of Steam reviews, like real Steam reviews of the Stanley Parable.
Do they update in real time?
Oh, I don't think so, because the one review says like, "Oh yeah, I found the narrator to just be like unbearable. Like, oof. I wish there was a skip button." And then like the narrator says, "Oh, well, if you know so much about game design, like by all means, like I'll show you guys a skip button." And then suddenly you're in a room with a skip button.
Okay.
And so the narrator's like super long-winded, like won't shut up, as the Steam reviewer mentioned. And you feel tempted to press the button, and then you press the button, and you find out that every time you press this button, it gets incrementally like longer in time. So like by the fourth time you press this button, the narrator's like, "Stanley, it's been a week. You have to stop pressing this button."
Oh,
and
no.
Like, oh,
okay.
It goes somewhere with that. That like really had my jaw on the floor.
Would you play this on?
PS5.
PS5. Okay. I quickly looked up Stanley Parable, and I'm seeing a baby ending. Is that something?
Baby ending?
Yeah, is there a baby ending?
There's a part in this game where there's like a cardboard baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Okay, yeah.
Is that funny? Should I spoil it?
It's like
Or
not
should I
that
like?
fun.
Okay. Oh, hey, I'll wait it out. I think I need to check this game out.
Yeah, I'll say like actually it's a really good game to play with someone. Like if you and Natalie are bored, just because like obviously there's like very few mechanics and like anyone like sitting on the couch could be like, oh, what if you do this?
Yeah, and like I mean, with a narrator, it's gonna feel like that the couch person's suggestion is being acknowledged by the game TV man.
Yeah, yeah. Big recommendation.
Yeah, I did not expect Stanley Parable to even be on. I didn't realize Ultra Deluxe was like a sequel.
Yeah,
but you mentioning the more content door, I recall hearing this is a sequel.
Yeah, so there's a DLC part, and then there's also a part where they get into Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, Jesus.
And how they would market that game and stuff. It's really smart. At times cynical, but really smart and engaging.
I think it's almost like fitting that I tried to skip over your number 2 a bunch of times in like a very like meta narrative sounding game being your actual number 2.
Yeah. Yeah, you literally press the skip button.
Wow.
I think maybe I played this thing before we started this podcast. So I didn't have like an avenue to talk about it, but it's been up there all year.
I'm seeing some playthroughs of this and it doesn't look very long either.
Oh, no, definitely not. I think maybe like a clean 8 hours.
Okay, we should talk about the Stanley Terrible.
See, I think in that Steam review where the person said that the narrator was annoying, I think they should have said Stanley Parable, more like Stanley Terrible.
Ooh, I'm going to write that review and see if it shows up in the game.
Yeah, go for it. You want to talk about Elden Ring?
Is that your number 1?
Yeah.
I can't like think of any way to talk about more games longer and then like Elden Ring was the number 1.
Yeah. It's inevitable.
General Radon is in it.
Yeah, honestly, I think if you want to hear us talk about Elden Ring, you should go to the episode we had recently talking about Elden Ring. Yeah.
No, I think so. Like this is where like my list kind of got flipped here, where Xenoblade was my number 1, but like kind of reflecting on it, if Elden Ring had come out 1 month later, it would not have been my number 1.
Why's that?
This game came out exactly in line with my paternity leave.
Okay.
Where all my new kid did was sleep. So I just had time to play Elden Ring. And everyone else in the world was also playing Elden Ring. So like all the online messages were fresh. There was always summons to get help on bosses. Like it felt like I was in like an MMO style game. Like it felt like I was constantly playing with people, even though you're not. Like, but like you're constantly online seeing people on the same parts as you. People talking about bosses they think like they found, or items they found in places. Yeah,
even like our little Discord channel.
Yeah, it was blown up. Little Pop Boy appreciation posts.
Yeah, I think you have to play that game when it came out. Like, I wonder if that's actually what you were missing in your Souls-like adventure.
Yeah.
Or journey. Like, you weren't experiencing it with the community, but like after the fact.
Yeah, the fact that I experienced this so terminally online.
Yeah.
Like, I think that this is an experience I don't know if I'll ever be able to capture again until Elden Ring 2.
Yeah. Or Armored Core 6.
Yeah, or Armored Core 6. I hope they put mech messages. Try finger, but...
Oh, jeez. Yeah. No, Elden Ring was so good, man.
Yeah, I can't think of anything bad to say about Elden Ring.
Yeah. So I was debating whether or not I wanted to try to argue for an Omori mention, and I'm still torn.
Hey, you can throw it into the disqualified mentions.
Here's the thing. I want to make it my number 1, but I don't know if I can. Here's my argument. And I think we've talked about this offline. The Among Us precedent that Jeff Keighley set in 2020.
I'm sorry.
You know about the
You're
Among
gonna have
Us?
to elaborate on that again.
You know about the Among Us precedent that was set in the Game of the Year awards in 2020? So Among Us was Game of the Year for best multiplayer, maybe, in 2020, despite the fact that it came out like several years earlier, but it just like blew up in popularity.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not going to claim that like Omori coming out on Switch was comparable in size.
Yeah.
But I am going to try a little bit.
And I mean, but where does that put Elden Ring on your list?
2.
And then that puts
Stanley Parable at 3 all the way down.
So you have a number 11 on the list?
That would be Tunic if I convince you.
Okay.
To allow for Omori.
Based off of Jeff Keighley's little game show precedent that he sent.
Is it Cooley? I don't know.
I thought it was like Josh Koofy, but
Yeah.
no, honestly, here's my thing with GOTY lists.
Yeah.
I feel like they should always be subjective, I guess. I think Game of the Year should vary by the person. Luckily, this year, my list is filled with games that, were released this year and I played this year.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm going to be playing Dragon Quest XI into next year. Like, Aria of Sorrow is a game I've only dabbled in or even, like, knew existed this year.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, I think those are the games of my year. Like, I think this list can be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking because, like, I wouldn't consider Inscription because I feel like that game, had its time in the sun last year.
Sure.
Whereas Omori was apparently released on Christmas Day in 2020. Like a release window that does not get any attention. And I hadn't heard about it until the Switch release of this year.
I mean, it had a release this year.
Yeah. A whole Switch release. Dude, Omori was so good. The way you talked about Elden Ring being your number one because of your experience with it. That's the way I think of like my top 10 of all times. Like, it's hard for me to discount like personal experience with a game.
Yeah.
Katamari is like on my top 10 of all time because I very specifically remember the weekend where it rained the whole time and I just played Katamari.
Yeah.
And I'm sure like Elden Ring is like forever tied to like you being a new dad and stuff of that nature.
Yeah, it's like my boy's game.
Yeah. Omori was so predisposed to just like hit me in the fucking jaw.
Yeah.
Like with everything it had. Cause like this thing's like entirely just like about the grief of losing a sibling.
Yeah.
Essentially. Which like I unfortunately can relate to real hard.
Yep.
And dude, so like the reason why I like Omori so much is because I had like a really weird experience with it where it like made me consider if like spirits existed, like a coincidence that's like too coincidental to like write off as a coincidence.
Yeah.
There's this moment where you have like this open book and you're putting like Polaroid photographs of like good times in it and stuff. And like the music's gorgeous. Like I'm having a hard time because of how like gorgeous it is.
Yeah.
And like obviously bittersweet.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like for some reason, that's like the moment my mom texted me a photo of me and my sister as a kid.
Whoa.
Dude, I couldn't make, like, you can't script it. Like, I couldn't lie about this. It was like, oh, okay. So like maybe something's out there, like controlling things, like some kind of spirit is like doing something. Cause like, how does that happen?
Yeah. And I mean, that's incredible to share. And obviously legally, I think Omori can be the number one. You do have to remove Elden Ring from the list entirely, but
okay. Yeah. I would do that for Omori.
No, I think a game that just like, again, that you can relate to on such a personal level, and when it kind of feels like a game was almost made for you, but then to experience things that sort of start to transcend the game itself.
Yeah. I mean, you even talked about like your experience with Xenoblade, like having an existential moment with that.
Yeah. Like there's a lot of things where games are such a great medium where they can mean so many things to different people, and all based on your own circumstances. Games can fit like into these perfect little pieces for you. And having, whoa, not destiny. I can't think of a good word here for what like that time, because that doesn't even sound like a coincidence. The fact that you'd get a photo from your mom while you're putting photos in a video game book.
Yeah.
Dealing with grief. That's fucking incredible.
Yeah. And like I had previously called those things coincidences.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't want to like use that word anymore after that.
I know it's so inexplainable.
Yeah.
And hey man, world is so big.
Yeah, world big. Oh yeah, and like just the fact that like the overall theme of the game is like, hey, you shouldn't like ignore that kind of grief. You know, Sunny is the character in the real world, and Omori is like the character that like is the hikikomori, the person that like doesn't engage with any of those emotions. To like do that in the game and out of the game at the same time was really cool. And it's like an Earthbound like, which was like always gonna work for me.
Yeah, and that's huge. They're already like, wow. Yeah, it feels like this game is wildly for you.
Dude, even like the animation, it's like sketchy pencil.
Dude,
like
I wanted to
2 to 3 frames of animation per second, like a choppy kind of animation. And like that's the thing that I started to do when I got like a tablet and Procreate in 2020, way before I knew about Omori.
Yeah.
It was like that type of animation. It was like I was predisposed to love this video game.
Yeah, I wanted to point that out. For like only the few hours I've played of that game, like the animation reminded me of what used to draw like your early Procreate animations. I was like, I was like, damn, is this? It was like chicken egg for me. I was like, I don't know what year it is anymore. I can't remember if Richie was doing these before Omori or after, but like, I see where it all ties together.
Yeah, definitely. The worst thing I can say about Omori is that like if I had gotten a different ending, I maybe would have thrown the entire thing away. Like, which I mean to say is like, it's dark and like,
I'm so afraid of this game.
Yeah. And if I had gotten like the dark ending, that's like cynical and like just drab. Yeah. I would have thought like, hey, so like this whole thing wasn't worth it. Like,
yeah, like everything. But I guess so. What, you got a good ending or a?
Yeah, I got a good ending. Not like the best ending, but a good ending.
Okay. Is it hard to get a bad ending?
No, it's really easy to get a bad ending, which sucks. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, which means like I can't recommend this thing to everyone. Like it's dark, it's like really messed up in parts. I have a lot of critiques of it. It's like super imperfect. There's a lot of things like I don't think it handles well, but yeah, it's just about how you relate to things, I guess.
Yeah, it's got to be a very fine line to walk when dealing with heavy subject matter.
Yeah, and like depicting it.
Yeah, and again, those depictions will mean different things to a lot of people too. You know, some people might just breeze through it. I guess like even I don't know. I only got to like the hide and seek bit in the very beginning of the game, which had me question. I was like, man, there's some scary people on the playgrounds. I don't know if I'm like in the headspace for this right now.
Yeah. Like the warning label that should come on Omori, and I think it does at the very beginning.
It does.
Like,
it did have a warning label.
Good. Like if you're not in the headspace for it, like do not play it.
Yeah.
Because it is like legitimately terrifying at some parts.
No, I'm glad that's your number one outside of. I'm glad Elden Ring got bumped because now our lists do not align here anymore.
Yeah, they're kind of like staggered.
Oh, damn. That means your Neon White is 5 too.
Ah, shit.
We're going to have to redo the section.
We're going to have to start the whole thing over again.
Yeah.
I think I can swap Neon White with Kirby.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, so they align number 4 still.
No, I think there's like going into 2023, I think there's a lot of games like I want to make it the year of my backlog.
Yeah.
I'm sick of buying new shit. Like I'm going to get Ishin and Fire Emblem and Zelda
Armored Core.
and Armored Core. But I'm done buying new games.
Yeah. The games already came out already.
Yeah, I have a 3DS. But yeah,
they're on the 3DS.
They're on the 3DS. The games are here. Yeah, I just think that there's so many games I already have that I'm just like sitting on these really good stories that I could just play for money I've already spent.
Yeah.
Like I got Omori at full price on Switch whenever ago. I think you were just like, Omori great, and then you had like a spoiler conversation. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I need to talk about this game. Was that this story?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
That's like the thing where I was like, how do I want to like shout this up from the top of a mountain, but like instead I just like called my mom, you know, because that's like the best thing I could have done in that moment.
Yeah. Did she?
Yeah.
Was she understanding of like the video game and like the mechanics of it? Like, hey, I'm doing this thing in a video game.
Yeah. No, my mom's the best. Yeah.
Love you, Nancy.
Shout out to Nancy.
Yeah, so I got that wind chime out front.
Nice.
It's beautiful. When the wind goes, it goes.
That's what they do.
Hey, it's what they do. It chime.
Yeah. So, looking forward to 2023.
Yeah, I think we should just, especially because, Fire Emblem's going to come out. We need to do a backlog episode where we just sort it. We sort our backlogs. It's not like us playing our games. I think we just have to go through them.
Yeah.
We'll bring our top 10s from our backlogs and be
geez.
Here's the games we're going to play.
Oh, geez.
And if we don't beat them all, one of us is going to have to give the other $25.
Oh, man. 25?
25 big ones.
Oh, no.
I couldn't think of a prank in time. So it's going to be money.
Whoever loses gets pied in the balls.
Oh, wait. Yeah, no, one. Yes, that's pretty good.
Okay. That's definitely going to happen.
Whoever loses has to play the other person's game of choice.
Ooh, okay. Now we're talking.
Yeah, and that's not a trade. One person doesn't have to play a game in that exchange. This isn't the Nier Automata and Yakuza situation. This is one person.
I don't know if we've talked about that on the podcast. But
that's a whole episode in itself. We just need to do a huge retrospective on both games.
Maybe we do a trade. Maybe we do a trade and talk about that as an episode. The idea of trading games.
Oh, yeah. We just need to do another trade.
Yeah. We'll organize another trade.
Yeah. I think this is going to be the setup for 2023. I know before the big Elden Ring episode, the GGAs, and now the GOTY, we were essentially talking about like how hard it is to keep up with playing new games all the time when all the games are already out on the 3DS. So
True.
Dragon Quest, we're gonna be playing Dragon Quest. We'll still be playing Dragon Quest.
Yeah, I kind of liked some of like the more recent episodes we did where it's like we kind of just want to play Pokemon and Dragon Quest, so we just like did that instead.
Yeah, like catching up on games feels so much more relaxed than homework.
Yeah, so I think next year expect us to talk about Fire Emblem, Yakuza, Dragon Quest,
Armored Core, Dragon Quest some more.
Yeah.
Eventually we'll stream something. I don't know. Man,
Yeah.
the worst part about this list situation is that I also got all the Metacritic scores from the last decade of the best game.
Wait, what? Like the objective GOTY of every year?
According to Metacritic.
All right, you want to just run through it real quick?
Yeah, I'll run through it, and then we can just do a quick retrospective of how 2022 kind of holds up. Yeah. Do you want me to start with the recent year or the oldest year?
Oldest year.
Okay. 2012. We had Persona 4 Golden.
Okay. Oh my God. That's a game I'm going to be playing in January for the first time.
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm going to play it again in January with you.
Okay, tight.
Love it. 2013, 2014, and 2015 were Grand Theft Auto 5.
What, like top selling?
No, top Metacritic score.
Okay.
The game kept coming out.
Interesting. Okay.
There's more like that. So again, Omori is your number one. If Grand Theft Auto 5 can win 3 years in a row.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
2016, Uncharted 4.
Okay.
Whatever. 2017 is...
Hold on. Can we talk about 2017 real quick?
We can talk about 2017.
2017 is the year of Yakuza 0, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Persona 5, Nier Automata. What other bangers came out?
Games in 2017. I mean, the winner is Breath of the Wild, as you could probably guess. For sure.
Yeah, but just wild year.
That year was hot as hell.
2018?
2018 is Red Dead Redemption 2, which in parentheses here I have as my biggest gaming regret.
Okay.
I spent $80 on like a pre-order release of that game.
Yeah.
And like 5 minutes into it, I was like, dude, this sucks. I hate this game.
Dude, me too.
I was like, dude, wait, really?
I didn't get the big pre-order, but I downloaded it and I was like, I don't know if this is for me anymore.
Yeah, I was like, dude, why did I spend this money?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. 2019, Divinity Original Sin 2 Definitive Edition.
That's weird.
Again, Omari's number one. 2020 is Persona 5 Royal.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Over Animal Crossing and Hades? Okay.
Yeah, dude. Like, immediately above those.
Okay.
2021, cool one. It's Disco Elysium.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, good stuff. I kind of want to check that one out too.
Yeah.
Now, 2022 is already decided, but in the
books.
Yeah, the number one is Portal, the companion collection that came out.
Okay, so like Metacritic like takes into account like the original reviews probably.
No, it's actually listed as the companion collection. So Metacritic, you just set it to a year, and the game actually has to have had a release in this year.
Okay. So then if we're going by the Metacritic precedent, also set by Jeff Cooley and Among Us.
Yep. There has to have been a release that year.
Yeah.
So a Switch version came out. It counts.
Yeah.
I would have put Crisis Core on here if I could have done it longer.
Crisis Core?
Yeah, Crisis Core Reunion.
Yeah. Have you started that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk.
Elden Ring twice.
Elden Ring twice?
Yep. For, I think last gen and current gen is how they had it listed.
Oh, for 2022?
2022, yeah.
Outside of the Portal?
Yeah.
Or was Portal 2021?
No, Portal Companion Collection is 2022.
Oh, okay.
And it has a 96. Elden Ring twice has a 96. The Witcher...
That sounds like a tie.
The Witcher 3 again. 96.
Okay, I'm starting to feel like this isn't a good metric to use.
It's bad this year. Well,
yeah.
But again, The Witcher 3 just came out with its huge PS5 like remaster.
Yeah.
Like total overhaul of the game, including like I think there's even like DLC crap from the show and stuff. I could be making that up. But then Persona 5 Royal is on here again, but it has a 96 this time. Or sorry, a 95 this time. Because Persona 5 Royal came out on the Switch.
Right.
Good
stuff. So how does this year stack up?
2017 is wild.
That's like the greatest year.
Yeah, I mean, that was Persona 5.
Yep. Hold on, I want to Google it.
When the hell was Kingdom Hearts 3?
You're going to have to tell me. Resident Evil 7 was 2017.
Oh, it's 2019, Jesus.
Cuphead? We're off track.
No, we're on track. We're trying to solidify 2017 as the best year.
Hollow Knight.
Like just straight up Hollow Knight? Dude, was it Mario Odyssey?
Yeah. Mass Effect Andromeda?
Yeah, no, that's not. Yep. I'm going to go ahead and say 2017 wins.
Yeah, 2017's our goatee.
1-2 Switch came out.
Nice.
No, bullshit. Pokemon Sun and Moon? No.
I did not like those games.
I hated those games.
Yeah.
Okay, no, they were 2016. But they were still the highest selling in 2017 because they came out late in 2016.
Oh.
Wow, fantastic stuff.
That's some good shit.
Dude, nice. Hey,
all right,
we recorded for 2 hours and 43 minutes.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
On a Sunday night.
Yeah, you want to wrap up?
Yeah, I think we put a bow on this year and call it quits.
Yeah. It's a good year to do like a podcast in.
A lot of stuff. I think it was a formative year to kind of figure out what we can do going forward.
Yeah, and excited about next year.
Backlog dot 2023.
Yeah, GGA. Keep your eyes peeled.
Oh, we should make a group, like little backlog account.
Ooh.
Oh, I like the GGA backlog, so our people can play along with what we're playing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
That is nice.
All right.
Keep your eyes peeled.
We'll get that. We'll make it eventually. Put it somewhere. But hey, you can find us on YouTube at Game Guys Advance. We've got the GGAs out there last week. They were fun.
Yeah.
What do we have? Like 200, 300 billion viewers?
Actually 304 billion last time I checked.
Not bad. And rising. They're still watching it.
Yeah.
We're still on Twitter, Game Guys Advance.
Yeah, you can find me on Tumblr, richcrudell.tumblr.com.
What's my Tumblr name?
Dude, we say this every week.
Well,
you don't post enough, so I don't know.
Yeah, don't use it.
Don't say it?
Yeah. Well, nobody knows it. Again, if you see Ichiban out there, just, give it a like.
So I found it. Do you want me to say it?
What's my internet name? Beastmo James? James Von Kralk?
It's James Von Kralk.
That sucks. I'm going to change to Beastmo James.
Okay. Okay.
Boo.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Good night.
Until next year.
What's the Truman Show say?
What's the Truman Show say? You need to stop.
What's the Truman Show say? So long. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. And if I don't see ya.
Good morning. And in case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.